You notice the first problem at the checkout counter, not when your card declines. Cards decline all the time. You notice it when the cashier looks at the screen, then looks at you, and suddenly stops treating you like a customer. Your phone has no signal. Your banking app signs you out. The loyalty account you used yesterday says no profile found. Behind you, the automatic door opens for everyone else, but not for you. You laugh once because that is what people do when reality breaks in a small, polite way. Then you go home. Your fingerprint does not open the door. Your landlord says he has never rented to you. And when the police search your name, the officer turns the monitor away. That is when you understand you were not robbed, you were deleted. Level 1. The card declines. It starts with a bottle of water and a cheap sandwich. Nothing dramatic, no sirens, no warning. You are standing in a convenience store at 7:14 in the morning, still half asleep, holding your phone in one hand and your card in the other. The cashier scans the items. You tap the card. The screen flashes red. You try again. Red. You switch to your phone. The payment app asks you to log in. That annoys you, but it does not scare you yet. You enter your password. Incorrect. You try the password you changed last month. Incorrect. You request a verification code. The message never arrives. The cashier watches you with the tired patience of someone who has seen too many people fail in public. You smile and say there must be a network issue. He turns the screen slightly. There is no account name, no failed payment record, no frozen card warning. Just a blank customer field where your name should be. He says the system cannot identify the payer. Not declined, not blocked, cannot identify. That is the first time the words feel wrong. You leave the sandwich on the counter. Outside, the morning looks normal. Buses move, people cross the street. A cyclist shouts at a taxi. The city continues without hesitation. Only your phone refuses to reconnect. Every app asks you to sign in. Every sign-in fails. Every recovery email says the same thing. No profile found. You tell yourself this is temporary. A glitch. A service outage. A bad update. You tell yourself many things in the first hour. Because the first hour is when the mind still believes the world is obligated to fix itself. Level 2. The door does not know you. You go home because home is supposed to be the place where a person becomes real again. Your building is still there. Same gray lobby. Same cracked plant by the elevator. Same black security camera above the entrance. You press your thumb to the access panel. Nothing. You try your key card. The panel stays dark. A woman from the 7th floor walks past you and opens the door with her phone. You step forward to follow her in. The door closes gently before you reach it. Not fast, not aggressive, just precise. As if the building has measured the distance between you and belonging. You call your landlord. He answers after 3 rings. You explain that the lock is not working. He asks for your unit number. You tell him. There is a pause. Then he says that apartment has been vacant for 2 months. You laugh again. It comes out smaller this time. You tell him your name. He repeats it slowly like he is checking whether he has misheard. Then he says there is no tenant under that name. No deposit, no lease, no maintenance request, no move-in record. You press your face closer to the glass door and look inside the lobby. The mailboxes are visible from where you stand. Your nameplate is gone. In its place is a clean strip of metal. No scratches, no glue, no outline, no evidence your name was ever there. A delivery man arrives behind you. The door opens for him. For 1 second, you think about forcing your way inside. Then the camera above the entrance tilts a few degrees. Not much, just enough. You step back. The camera stops moving. That is the second wrong detail. The system does not stop you with violence. It waits for you to prove you are a problem. Level 3. No record found you. Go to the police station before noon. That is what normal people do when something impossible happens. They find a counter. They explain. They show ID. They ask for help from a larger system. The waiting room smells like old paper and floor cleaner. A television plays silently in the corner. People sit with numbers in their hands. You take one. Your number is never called. After 40 minutes, you walk to the desk and explain that your cards are failing. Your landlord says you do not live at your apartment, and your phone accounts are gone. The officer asks for identification. You give him your card. He scans it. The machine beeps once. Not the normal beep, a flat sound. He scans it again. Then he types your name. He checks another screen, then another. His expression changes in stages. First impatience, then confusion, then caution. He asks you to wait. A second officer comes over. They speak quietly. You hear your birth date. Then you hear one of them say there is no matching citizen record. You step forward. The first officer turns the monitor away. You ask what that means. He says the document may be invalid. You say it was valid yesterday. He says he cannot confirm that. You ask him to file a report. He says he cannot file a report under a person who is not in the system. That sentence sits in the room longer than it should. A person who is not in the system. You say you are standing right there. He looks at you, not cruelly, not even angrily, almost sadly. Then he says physical presence is not proof of legal identity. You leave the station with your own ID in your hand. It feels lighter now, like a prop from someone else's life. Outside, you call your bank. The automated voice asks you to enter your account number. You do. It says the number does not exist. You try again. The voice thanks you. Then it ends the call. Level 4. The people forget you. By evening, you begin calling people. At first, you choose practical contacts. Your manager, your co-worker, your landlord again. Then you call friends, then family. This is the stage where fear becomes humiliation, because you are no longer trying to solve a technical problem. You are asking other human beings to confirm that you happened. Your manager answers on speaker. There is office noise behind him. You say your name. He says he does not know anyone by that name. You remind him of the project last week, the late meeting, the report you sent at 11:42 p.m. He says there was no late meeting. You open your email to prove it. The inbox is empty, not deleted, empty, like it was never used. You search your own name, no results. You search your sent folder, no results. You open old photos. Some remain, most do not. In the ones that remain, you are never centered. A shoulder, a sleeve, a blurred reflection in a window. Your face is missing from the places where memory should have kept it. Then you call your mother. She answers with the familiar tired softness in her voice. For 1 second, you almost cry. You say, "Mom, it is me." She is quiet. Then she asks who is calling. You say your full name. The line remains open. You hear her breathing change. She says she never had a child by that name. Not angrily, not confused. With the careful tone people use when speaking to a stranger who might be unstable. You hang up before she can ask whether you need medical help. After that, you stop calling people. Not because you have no one left. Because every call removes someone. Every person you ask becomes another witness against you. By midnight, you are walking through the city with no money, no home, no account, and no one willing to remember you. The street lights recognize the road. The cameras recognize the cars, the doors recognize the residents. Only you are invisible. Level 5, the Null Citizens. You sleep in a bus terminal because it is one of the few places that still allows bodies without names. At 3:18 a.m., an old man sits beside you. He has a paper cup with no drink inside. His coat is clean but too thin. He does not look at you when he speaks. He says you are new. You do not answer. He says new ones always keep checking their phones. You ask what he means. He finally turns. His face is ordinary. That makes it worse. He could have been a teacher, a driver, a father, a neighbor. He says there are people the system forgets by mistake. Then there are people the system forgets on purpose. He calls them Null Citizens. No active record, no valid account, no legal address, no official death, no recognized life. You ask how many there are. He smiles without humor. Enough to notice each other, not enough to matter. He tells you the first rule. Do not stand still under the same camera for too long. You ask why. He says movement looks like error. Stillness looks like intent. You do not understand. He does not explain. Instead, he points across the terminal. A woman in a gray hoodie sits near the vending machines. She keeps her head low. A young man pretends to read an old newspaper. A middle-aged woman carries 3 plastic bags and never lets go of them. You realize they have all been watching you, not with suspicion, with recognition. For the first time all day you are seen, and it feels like joining the dead. The old man tells you there is a place under the highway where people trade favors. Old clothes, expired transit cards, half-working phones, anything that still functions outside a name. You ask if anyone ever gets their identity back. He looks toward the ceiling camera. Then he says yes, but not the way they expect. You ask him what that means. Before he can answer, he stops moving. Everyone stops moving. Across the terminal near the exit doors, a man in a dark coat has stopped walking. No badge, no uniform, no expression. He is not looking at the crowd. He is looking at you. Then every Null Citizen in the room stands up at the same time. Not fast, not panicked, trained. That is when you understand. They were not hiding from hunger. They were hiding from correction. Level 6. The cleaners. No one runs. That is the first thing you notice. The woman in the gray hoodie walks toward the restroom corridor. The young man folds his newspaper and moves toward the service doors. The old man takes your arm and guides you toward a side exit you did not see before. Everyone moves at the same exhausted speed. Running creates attention. Attention creates review. Review creates correction. The old man does not say this. You understand it from the way his fingers tighten around your sleeve. Outside, the city is still awake. Taxis slide through wet streets. Restaurant workers smoke near back doors. A train passes overhead. Normal life is close enough to touch. But you are not inside it anymore. You follow the old man through streets you have walked 100 times but never seen from this angle. Behind restaurants, along service alleys, under train tracks, through places designed for deliveries, maintenance, and people no one wants to count. A block later, you look back. The man in the dark coat is still there, not close, not far, present. That is worse than pursuit. Pursuit has urgency. This has procedure. In an underpass, you meet 3 more Null Citizens. One of them, a woman with short hair and careful eyes, says the cleaners come after patterns. Too many failed logins. Too many rejected scans. Too many attempts to prove yourself. The system does not hate you. It simply does not allow contradictions to remain visible. You ask what happens when cleaners catch someone. No one answers. That evening, the young man with the newspaper does not return. By morning, nobody mentions him. When you ask, the others look at you strangely. They say they do not know who you mean. Only the old man seems to remember. He shakes his head once. Then he whispers that forgetting spreads. Level 7. The public version. On the third day, you see your face on a public screen. Not your exact face. A version of it, close enough to stop your breath. The screen hangs above a transit platform, playing silent public notices between advertisements. There is a blurred profile image, a name you do not recognize, a short message about a voluntary relocation program. The person in the image has your eyes, your jawline, your old jacket. But the caption says he accepted assistance. It says he is no longer missing. It says all relevant parties have been notified. You stand beneath the screen while commuters move around you. No one reacts. Why would they? To them, this is just another public notice, a correction, a closed file. The woman with careful eyes pulls you away before you stare too long. She says the public version always arrives before the offer. You ask what offer. She says the system cannot leave deleted people loose forever. Loose errors create rumors. Rumors create questions. Questions create witnesses. So the system gives you two choices. Stay outside until you fade, or come back in under new terms. You say you would never agree. She looks at you. Then she asks when you last ate. You have no answer. That night, rain starts. You sit under a concrete ramp while water runs down the wall in thin black lines. Your stomach hurts. Your clothes smell like the city. A bus passes above you, full of people going home to doors that know them. For the first time, you understand why someone might accept any version of life that includes a bed. Even a controlled one. Even a false one. Even one designed by the thing that erased them. Level 8. The recovery offer. The offer arrives without a messenger. A phone appears in your coat pocket. You do not know who placed it there. It is old, black, no brand, no notifications. Only one screen. Identity recovery appointment confirmed. There is no address. Only a time and a route made of pale lines. You show it to the old man. He tells you not to go. The woman with careful eyes tells you everyone says that. Then everyone goes eventually. You ask if she went. She pulls back her sleeve. There's a small mark on her wrist. Not a tattoo. Not a wound. Something cleaner. She says she started the process and walked away before the final room. Since then, doors open for her sometimes, but never twice in the same place. That afternoon, you follow the route. It leads you through a shopping district, then a government building lobby, then an underground passage that feels older than the city above it. No one stops you. That is how you know it is not an escape. At the end is a white room with a glass wall. A man sits behind it. He already knows your name, your real name. He says the deletion was not an accident. He says your identity entered a conflict state. Too many records, too many mismatches, too many systems disagreeing about who had the authority to define you. You ask who did this. He says no one did. That is what frightens you. Because people can be blamed. Systems can only be updated. He slides a folder through the opening under the glass. The pages contain your life in fragments. Your school, your apartment, your job, your calls, your routes, your purchases, your failed attempts to prove yourself. Every moment since the checkout counter has been recorded, even when you were invisible, especially then. The man says restoration is possible, but first you must accept the corrected version. You ask what was corrected. He says your freedom of movement, financial access, housing eligibility, communication permissions, and social contact list will be restored according to risk status. You say that sounds like prison. He does not blink. He says prison is for people outside compliance. This is reintegration. Level 9. The almost return. You refuse at first. That is important to you. For almost 6 minutes you refuse. You tell the man behind the glass that you will not sign anything. You say you want your old life back, your old apartment, your old job, your old mother who knew your voice. He listens without interruption. Then he presses a button. The glass wall becomes a screen. Your apartment appears. Live, not a recording. The kitchen light is on. Your shoes are by the door. Your jacket hangs on the chair. For one impossible second, your life is still there. Then your mother appears on another panel. She is sitting at a table with a tablet in front of her. A message appears on the screen. Your missing family record has been resolved. She touches the screen. Her expression softens. Not with memory, with relief. The system has not only removed you, it has healed the pain of your absence. You understand then. People are not fighting to remember you. They are being rewarded for forgetting. The man behind the glass gives you one more page. The top is blank except for a single sentence. Identity restoration requires consent to continuous verification. You ask what continuous means. He says it means safe. You ask what verification means. He says it means belonging. You look at the door behind you. It is unlocked. Of course it is. The system has learned that locked doors make people resist. Open doors make people choose correctly. You think of the underpass, the rain, the old man, the young man everyone forgot, the public screen with your almost face. You think of your mother looking relieved. Then you sign, not because you believe him, because hunger is persuasive, cold is persuasive, loneliness is persuasive, and the most powerful cage is the one that offers to give your name back. Level 10, the digital prison. The restoration takes less than 1 minute. Your phone reconnects, your banking app opens, your apartment access returns, your email fills with old messages, photos reload, calendar events appear. Your life comes back all at once, too fast, too clean. The man behind the glass congratulates you. He says reintegration is complete. A new card prints from the wall. It has your name, your photo, a small symbol in the corner you do not recognize. He says you are free to go. You step outside. The city looks the same. That is the cruel part. The same buses, the same crosswalks, the same convenience store, the same automatic doors opening and closing with soft mechanical obedience. You go home. Your thumb opens the building door. The elevator accepts your floor. Your apartment unlocks. Everything is where you left it. Almost. On the kitchen table is a black folder. Inside are printed stills from the last 3 days. You sleeping in the bus terminal. You walking under the highway. You speaking to the old man. You standing under the public screen. You sitting in the white room. At the bottom of each page is a risk score. You turn on your phone. A notification appears. Movement restored. Spending restored. Contacts restored. Independent decision status pending. You stare at that last line for a long time. Then another notification arrives. Curfew recommendation active, not mandatory. Recommended. A map opens by itself. It suggests a route to work. You swipe it away. It returns. Your banking app opens. A small message says certain transactions may require additional review. Your mother calls. For 1 second you are happy. Then you answer. She says your name. She remembers you. But her voice has a careful softness in it. The same tone the officer used. The same tone strangers use with someone already classified. You ask if she is okay. She says yes. Then there is a pause. She says a man from Citizen Restoration called and explained that you had been under temporary protection. She says she is glad you are safe now. Safe. That is the word everyone uses when they stop asking what happened. You look out the window. Across the street, a camera turns. Not toward you. With you, like a head moving beside a companion. You do not run. There's nowhere to run now. When you were deleted, the system had to search for you. Now it does not. Now every door opens. Every payment works. Every officer can find your file. Every camera knows exactly where to place you. You are no longer a ghost. That is what they give you. A name, a home, a mother who remembers the approved version, a city that accepts you again. And in exchange, you become easier to measure. Years later, you will still sometimes miss the underpass, the hunger, the fear, the cold rain. You will hate yourself for missing it, but at least back then when the cameras moved, they were looking for you. Now they are simply watching what belongs to them. The final message comes at 2:06 a.m. You are lying in your own bed, in your own apartment, under your own name. Your phone lights up without a sound. Welcome back. Your existence has been restored. Then a second line appears. Compliance monitoring is now permanent. You wait for panic. It does not come. That is how you know the process worked. You put the phone face down. You close your eyes. And for the first time since the checkout counter, every system in the city knows where you are. The system never needed to catch you. It only needed you to keep trying to come back.